All right, so we're back. I don't know what I'm gonna title this. It could be like, you know how they be having those 2 hours of or like 10 years of Splunk experience in 2 hours or something like that or whatever.
Yeah.
Something like that. I don't know, but I thought about bringing some Splunk power on. I always have people asking me about Splunk and how they should learn it and the different things they can do and what should they learn behind going into Splunk. So, guys, today we have Mr. Kenneth Ellington and Marquis. Kenneth runs his own company, Ellington Cyber Academy, right? I was going to say solutions.
Correct.
And then we have Marquis. You guys know him. He's been on the show. Rob, you already know what it is. Mr. Drop Off in the building. Mr. Truth, LLC.
Oh, I forgot it. I still got that.
Yeah, but no, they both made appearances here and there on live streams through the show. But today's a Sunday. We got the windows open and we decided to get it in real quick. But if you are listening to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube Music, or wherever you listen to the podcast at, please follow us, help us out in the podcast analytics. And if you're currently still with us right now on YouTube, all you got to do is hit the thumbs up button. You can hype up the video and just share it out to your network. We just got to get these views up in the holiday season, trying to help y'all change your life. Just support the video. But now, guys, just a brief, everybody's seen y'all episodes before, so we're going to do this how they do in the screening interviews, like a brief about me, about each of you that way, and then we can just get into like questions, and then we'll get into some of them other cool articles I have.
You started first.
Kenneth.
I'll go first, all right. So my name's Kenneth Ellington. I've been in the field for around 7 years now. I currently specialize in threat detection, threat hunting, SIM engineering, SOAR engineering. I also run my own company, and I consult for a small boutique FedRAMP company as well.
My name is Marquis Jordan. I work at Options Clearing Corporation, and I am a Splunk architect and critical engineer.
As you can see, our guests are qualified to talk about Splunk, and so we got a couple of questions. So one thing that y'all didn't put that I'm going to put out here, and it's just for the audience perspective, and I'll let both of you guys give your own answer to this. What is Splunk?
I'll go first. So Splunk in of itself is a data aggregation log management platform. Splunk in itself is not a SIM. It has a SIM solution called Enterprise Security that you can add on from it. So with that, think of Splunk as the overall baseline platform, and Splunk Enterprise Security as a fancy add-on piece that does detection engineering, threat hunting, and aggregation for security-specific data.
Yep, he actually explained it perfectly. I look at it as a filing cabinet in simple terms. If you look at it as a filing cabinet, the logs are actually the files. The user actually looks in the index and
it's pulled data from it.
Exactly.
And what's the cabinet?
Splunk. Splunk is the cabinet.
Okay.
The index is technically the files. I'm sorry. The
drawers, I guess.
Drawers.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
yes.
so it's the room is in the instance of the server?
Nah, see, yeah.
No, but I think this would be a cool way if they ask you to explain Splunk, right?
It
How would
is.
you explain it to, execs? Because they always ask these questions, like, how do you explain this complex thing to people who don't know what you're talking about?
Yeah, in simple terms, that's the way I explain it. The filing cabinet is technically Splunk, but as a broad perspective, I can't call it a server.
You know why? But you know why I said that? Because
Why?
you said to get it started on Splunk, you need some heavy folders, EC2 instances from that short. So that's why I brought that back out.
Oh, yeah, that's funny. That's funny.
All right. So I know one of the questions that Kenneth said is like, what companies or industries like to use Splunk inside their environment?
Yeah, so I want to say, I think roughly like 90% of Fortune 100 firms have some type of Splunk install. It could be for security, could be for DevOps, could be for IT operations, could be for finance. It just depends on what the use case is. And then probably like 70% of those probably have Splunk Enterprise Security for Fortune 100 firms. So think of like Bank of America, JP Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo, Fidelity has one. F1 Racing has one, McLaren has one as well. So they put on, I guess they use API calls to pull the data from the actual racing cars to actually run metrics on it. So majority of large firms will have a Splunk installation.
That's interesting. So they actually pull, I didn't know F1 and McLaren and so.
Because my old boss, Tony, he's a CTO of Splunk now, and they took his entire family out to F1 racing and paid for everything, and they hired him.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
they're collecting metrics. That's pretty cool. With Hotel, I wonder if they use signal effects or something like
It
that.
might. That's just one people there.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Today's video is being brought to you by Ellington Cyber Academy. And guess what? Ellington Cyber Academy is launching their very own Cyber Range. Let me tell you about it. The ECA Cyber Range is a dynamic learning community designed to help cybersecurity professionals and students grow through hands-on, career-focused experiences. Members will gain access to live workshops, including threat intel, deep dives, finance one-on-one sessions, and career development workshops that strengthen resumes and professional branding. The platform also features a wide range of on-demand courses for flexible learning and direct engagement opportunities with former Splunk senior engineers, offering real-world insights and mentorship. Combining technical skill building with career readiness, the ECA Cyber Range empowers learners to confidently advance in the cybersecurity field. If you're interested in the ECA Cyber Range, then click the link in the description. Now, back to the show. Now, let me see if you don't have this down here. So before like some of all these other questions, right? Like if somebody, what's some good ways somebody can get access to Splunk without having to download anything, platforms or anything like that? Like what would they use learning platforms to just get access to Splunk?
If I'm not mistaken, TryHackMe.
Yeah, I think it has it.
Yeah, they has a good use case scenario. I went through maybe 2 of them, if I'm not mistaken, for RBAC and it was something else. I think.
Hold on, you said an acronym that they probably not familiar with.
Risk-based alerting.
No, he was talking about, he said RBAC.
Role-based access control.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I think they had something like that, and it was something else with dashboarding, if I'm not mistaken.
I would say, so you got TryHackMe. You also can do. You have Pluralsight. You have Rangeforce.
Yeah.
You used to have. I don't know even know if they're still around, but in the pandemic, INE became really popular. They had Splunk. I would say just about any e-learning platform may have some type of Splunk type of platform that you can use, and that's a good way to kind of get used to it. Now it's going to be limited because you're going to be set to whatever they put data they have the access in, and you may not know how to do some of the more technical things, but that's just a way to kind of get your feet wet. And then going from that, that's where we go into roadmaps of learning Splunk, right? Like starting off, what would you recommend certification-wise for Splunk?
Depends what your route is, but normally core user, power user from there. Those are the baseline certifications. If you want to specialize more on the security side, you can do cyber defense analyst. You can do that. You can do Splunk Enterprise Security one for ES admin. Then you can also do Splunk or automation developer one if you want to get more Python heavy and building apps and applications for the Splunk SOAR platform as well. Then if you want to do more observability work, they have a certification for that too. You can do more architect work. You can do Splunk Architect. They have Splunk consulting stuff as well. So it depends what route you want to take.
Yeah.
Real quick, pull your mic more towards the edge.
Oh, here.
Keep on. All right, that should be good. I'm only doing that because they already got like preset filters on there. So when you're not super close on it, it'll cut in and out because it's trying to limit whatever to bring in. So, all right. We're perfect though. And do you have anything to add on to that?
Not necessarily. If I'm not mistaken, he cleared it up pretty nicely.
Now, so this is another question. I think Kenneth put this on here. If I wanted to learn Splunk and get a job as a SIM engineer, how should I go about doing that?
You may answer that question, or
this is one of your questions.
Yeah.
Okay. So depends like what your timeline is, honestly. So if your goal is to become a SIM engineer, I would first ask you like, what is your current role? What are some things you're doing, right? Are you willing to move, right? Because honestly, if you live like in middle of Wyoming, there probably aren't much Splunk engineering jobs, realistically speaking, right? So you may have to move from that point of view. If you're willing to move, right, you don't care, you're young, you're in your 20s, right, awesome. First thing I would probably understand is how data works and how data moves from that point of view, right? Understand Linux command line, OS, understand Windows backend as well. The reason I tell people that is those are the most common use cases and logs to get ingested inside of any SIM platform, honestly, especially Splunk. So if you don't understand how Linux works in the backend or Windows, it's very hard to be able to parse logs, data ingest. And especially if you want to do security, you're going to be ingesting those logs for security use cases. It's hard to break those apart, right, for security investigations. That's the first thing. Now, if you want to specialize more on the security side, I would then tell you probably try to set up like a detection as code lab. That's more advanced, but that is one of the paths you can take. So that's going to help teach you how to use Git, how to use cloud servers, right? Maybe how to use Terraform or Ansible as well, which is what a lot of jobs are asking nowadays. It's what my clients want, so that's why I had to learn it. Those are a couple of paths you can take, like timeline length, maybe 2 to 3 years overall to get towards your end goal, being a Splunk engineer. How much does it make? Enough on other questions as well. It just depends, right, on location. For example, if you live like in NYC or San Francisco, you're gonna make a lot more money compared to if you live like, I don't know, like in Kansas or like
compared to here.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like top end, I've seen like ranges of like probably 140 to like 300K if you're really good at what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Again, that varies in location and experience.
Yeah, that's true. I do have a question I wanted to ask in regards to a beginner wanted to learn how to use Splunk.
Yeah.
Do you think that they should learn from a search head experience or the Splunk architect from the higher level on down?
I'm not a Splunk engineer or architect, but I'll say from bottom up.
Okay.
If I compare it to anything in real life, we compare it to what we call it, foundational skills.
Yes.
Like before a kid can go out and shoot like Steph Curry, they need to learn how to dribble.
That's true.
Learn how to pass.
That's true.
You need to do a layup on the right hand and left hand, like simple stuff that's fundamentals that'll take you anywhere. So whatever your fundamental stuff is about Splunk, I think you should know that, because if all things fails, you know how to work from that, and not how. I guess I'll compare it to, like, we have a lot of people who got into the industry over the last 5 years and they skipped a lot of steps because of, luckily, like the barrier to entry was so low, they're just hiring people. You get a job, you get a job, you get a job. But some of those people are struggling now because they skipped steps. They skipped having like a basic understanding of networking or understanding the cloud or even understanding basics about security.
Right.
Data security, all those different things. So they skipped a lot of that stuff, and now some of them are in trouble because they got to go relearn it.
Yeah.
So, okay. I would probably say then, starting the search at level, probably the easiest win, and that's important from like a mental standpoint, that people don't get upset and just quit, which happens pretty often. From there, after you get a decent baseline of that, I would say probably go in the back end to understand how Linux works. If you want to be a Splunk engineer or any SIEM engineer, honestly, you have to know how Linux works.
Yes.
Those are what every platform is built on for security in most cases. So again, you can go on Code Academy, learn it for like probably under $100. Know how to install servers, know how to set them up from scratch, tear them down, break them apart, do it over again 20 times, which is what I did. And document your process.
I'm glad you said that.
Yes.
I didn't put it on LinkedIn yet. I probably either make it a newsletter or a LinkedIn post. I did put it on Twitter. And let me see, I actually can pull it up. By the way, guys, if you're not following me on Twitter, you need to follow me. Like, Marquis went like kind of like viral this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
The same that post, but it was the other post I made when I said why people are struggling in interviewing with like no experience.
Or the post you made about you better slap that guy across the face.
No, we talked about that last episode. But that's crazy. My Hit the Ground Running tweet got like 717 likes and 68 retweets. But Marquis's initial tweet got 2.6K likes and 122 retweets.
What does it say?
She was talking about, I'm generally interviewing for roles that pay 195K to 310K. When you're at that level, you have to know your shit. And I said, and you have to hit the ground running. All that the company going to train you is hogwash. Because all the grifters was talking about, hey, you just do all this, they're going to train you. And I'm like, bro, I can tell I've worked some contract jobs, and like only one day they say, oh, these are the links for everything, and this is what we do.
Good luck.
Yeah. If you can't do the work, they're going, hey, man, he ain't working. We need somebody else ASAP. Give us candidate B. Like, no. But here you go. I said, while I'm here, most of you who are trying to get into cybersecurity don't understand your projects on a foundational level and how to explain them for real-world scenario-based interview questions. And this did come from, this is the whole reason why I was telling y'all what I thought about doing my consultations. There's an interview prep session. He already has an IT/security internship he's doing with a healthcare company, but he doesn't really understand what he's doing. When I used ChatGPT, well, no, actually I used Copilot, to analyze the job description. I said, pull out me 10 GRC type of questions or whatever. So I did that. And as I'm asking them the questions, He's like, I don't know. I said, but you got right here, you did this. This is the same thing. So they're not understanding how they translate. And he did the cyber range stuff for Josh Madacor, which is excellent stuff. But I could tell he only did it maybe once, maybe twice. Because when I'm saying, okay, well, y'all found these findings, what kind of findings did you find and how did you fix them? Not, we found these findings and we did this and we fixed it. That ain't good enough. When you didn't say, oh, we found that, we didn't have a firewall or these user accounts had bad, what's it called? Like, not password health, but it's like complexity, like the status of like your passwords and like how often they change and stuff like that. Like when you did an audit, like you didn't find this stuff and like change, and that's how you implemented it. And we did it with this, and now we working with pass keys and password lists. Like y'all can't go deep enough on these things, and that's why y'all struggling. Yeah, because y'all really are not understanding them. And then so that's why I think the pro about the self-pay stuff is good, but having a person that you can literally just access that's been in enterprise environments 5, 7, 10, 15, 20 years, that's the best cheat code you're going to have. Sometimes you can't even get it at work. You try to find a person that could be your mentor or help you. But a lot of people sometimes standoffish. You may not find nobody. And so you'd be stuck in your role. That's why you got to look out for externally for help. And a lot of people don't realize that a lot of this didn't exist pre-pandemic. A lot of people was thugging it out on their own. And then they'll get mad if you charge or whatever, but like, hey, like we're both getting something out of this. Whatever you're investing into yourself, eventually it's going to compound and pay off for you. You already named, like, I guess a couple of projects. Did we talk about, you gave example for a person who had kind of had some type of experience that want to be a sim engineer. What should a person do with no experience?
Probably something similar, honestly. Like the main pillars I would tell them understand are probably operating systems. Doesn't matter what you're gonna do with any SIMs or any security platform. Understand what it sits on and how it works. Because from a lot of my higher level interviews that I do, they ask me, okay, if Splunk or Sentinel or LogRhythm broke, how would you fix it? All right. Let's say you get an alert, the log sources aren't coming in. How would you go about fixing it? That's going to bridge like the technical and then the actual soft skills gap, right? A lot of times I've seen people answer, they'll try to fix a technical problem, even though it may just be maintenance. No one ever asks that, right? So
I'll check service now for a change ticket or a rhythm. That's the first thing I like to do if something ain't working.
Half the time, that's the thing. Someone's putting in a maintenance quest, they're doing patching, you just have to ask.
Yeah.
What about you?
So I literally just went through this situation with Jay I was just telling you about. I told her to understand the fundamentals of Linux first and know your way around Linux. And once you complete that task, you can get into Splunk. But I asked you that question earlier about from a higher level or from a search perspective first, because I told Jay the opposite. I told her to understand the overall concept of the key components first and understand what you're searching for.
I think that's what they show you in those, like the first fundamental courses. They kind of break down what Splunk is.
I can't even remember the first
I got
course.
them. They in here somewhere.
Really?
Yeah.
It's been so long.
Yeah, it is. That's how our course is designed too.
Yeah.
My biggest thing is, because I think people try to do Linux first, they get upset and they quit. So I'm like, I try to get them quick wins. They do. They're like, why? It's just so hard, so much work. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, you want to make like $200K a year. I'm like, what do you expect?
Yeah, so I'm going to be honest. Linux isn't really challenging. I think the problem is the patience behind it. Just learning how to use the CLI in general.
I think it'd be easier. That's the first thing they started off with. Like, on a simple level, there were probably people who've been using Windows their whole life that think Mac OS is hard. But if you started with Mac OS, you probably would think Windows would be hard.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's just the UI.
Look at the people how many people you've seen, because I got iOS and Android. How many people have you seen get your Android phone and act like they don't know what they're doing? Like, they act like it's so complicated.
Yeah.
And it's very similar.
Most people are. I'm not an iOS advocate, but it's very user-friendly. You know, Kenneth has an Android, so.
I do too.
I don't look at products in general, honestly.
I actually do. I love them for editing.
Oh, I don't edit anything. I just pay someone. I hate doing that. It's so tedious.
It's not, man. I've been trying to show you so they don't try to get over on you.
Yeah, I've been using my MacBook to design photos, and yeah, I love it. Well, I use Lightroom, so Lightroom can be on Windows too, so I don't think that matters at this point.
Now let's get into this. This is something you'll have down, and these are things that people will talk to me about, and then I'll witness with them about. How do they get a company to take a chance on them if they don't have any enterprise level experience? Like everything is all labs, or do we tell them to change their verbiage in the interviews so they believe that they have more experience than they do?
I would normally tell someone to meet and network with different people, so people actually know what you can do. People can buy inside of you before you get inside of the actual door for an interview. Makes it a lot easier because it's super hard to just apply on a website and get a job.
Yeah.
It's extremely hard.
But even with that, though, it's still sometimes there are people who know. There are people who won't judge the labs versus it being enterprise because if it lines up with what you need them to do, it don't matter.
Yeah.
Well, remember we were talking about earlier how the interview is harder than the job?
Yeah.
And a lot of times people are just not asking you about stuff they actually deal with on a day-to-day. They're trying to ask you all the stuff that don't even matter. Like all the I think I've seen a meme for it's like the job interview and they got all this different stuff, Kubernetes and Terraform, Ansible, all this stuff. And then the actual job is Excel. Like,
Yeah.
like that's literally normally how it is. And you're like, bro, like y'all are asking me stuff. And then 4 weeks later, I see the same role posted. Y'all don't know what y'all looking for because y'all asking the wrong question.
Exactly.
So with that being said, because think about it, every time a person thinks about a project or a lab, sometimes people don't give it the respect it deserves because going back to what I was talking about earlier with the guy doing the projects, a lot of times they do the project so fast, it's coming off as it's a lab. Because it tell you to do this, it tell you to do that, it tell you to do this, tell you to do that. So if you just do it that fast, you don't even know the why behind something. Like how can you explain whatever you did if you didn't never ask the right questions? You never asked. Now in your situation, if they do the live instructor method, they can say, hey, Kenneth, why am I doing it this way? Then you can say, you're doing it this way because of A, B, and C, or if this happens, you did it because of this. Now they understand why. It's like, we should probably give them like a real roadmap. Like, because I don't think somebody's going to go from, in your case, at Publix to doing a sim engineer now.
Wait, what's Publix?
Publix is it's like HEB, but for like ATL and stuff. Well, Atlanta, right? In
Florida, Mississippi, Alabama, Kentucky. They're in Virginia now too.
Yeah, so it's like HEB.
Yeah, but better.
I don't know about that now.
I do. It's better.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think y'all got barbecue.
Wait.
HEB got its own barbecue thing.
Oh yeah, I ain't never had it though.
Barbecue restaurants.
They do crawfish also,
Yeah.
but I haven't had it.
You probably come. I mean, like I compare them to because then like Kroger's more global.
I hate Kroger.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Dirty or something going inside. Their meat's not good. The produce.
Really,
is
you must go to the wrong one.
Yeah, you got it.
I've been like 5 ones. One in Houston, one in Dallas, one in Austin.
See,
Dallas sucked.
but where though? Because it's like 5 Kroger's like almost everywhere. You got to go to the right ones.
Yeah, probably in Allen is the best one.
I don't know about that. We got this one right there in Frisco, Maine, and Teal. That's good.
Nah, that's a Gucci Kroger. You can't go though.
That's a what?
Gucci
What you say is a Gucci Kroger?
because the area is in.
Bro, that's just like the Kroger. I got some catfish from the one on Lebanon and Legacy.
They sell catfish.
Yeah, catfish fillets and whole
And
catfish.
Hold on, do they curl up?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy work. So I get the catfish from Brookshire's in Farmersville, and they okay.
Yeah.
It's
Go back to
fine.
Kroger.
Okay.
But like realistically, like should they? I'm telling everybody now, hey, if you ain't got no experience, bro, and you ain't got no high income level transferable skills, I'm telling everybody like right now, like you should probably do help desk.
Yeah.
Like you just need to understand how things work from a foundational level, and then doing help desk, hey, just go peruse the tickets and see who fixed what. Go talk to them. Say, hey, I've been working on my Splunk core user and this and that, and like what I should do. So internally, you probably can make a move.
I think the biggest flaw of people I met, they have issues troubleshooting. Like they're kind of lazy when it comes to that part. So
No, because they ask AI everything.
oh yeah, I think that also what's the word for it? You lose your critical thinking skills by utilizing AI without troubleshooting. If that makes sense. If you just go to AI for everything, then you
Half the
won't
time,
really.
exactly right.
Now I'm gonna be like Gen Alpha right now. Well, y'all used to use Google all the time.
That's different. You got to ask the right questions with Google.
Well, don't you got to ask the right questions with AI?
Well, AI.
I'm
It's
pushing. All I'm
challenging.
doing is pushing back for everything you have because we're gonna start having a thing where we're gonna see like the old heads of talking about using AI. But the difference is a lot of times people use AI like Google and they don't know the right question to ask, and they just going in there typing in stuff. That's the big issue.
Yeah, that's interesting. You guys ever had any situations where people actually leaked sensitive information to AI to get their work done, or what?
It probably happens all the time.
No, only because the environment right now is very secure and locked down, and we do have DLP in place, so we can see if somebody's going to a certain site or it's already blocked. So the only way they would do it is if they're using their phone, taking a picture of it, copying it, and putting it in their own personal instance, which I believe is happening. And I said for a long time ago, like, it's a gift and a curse that with iPhones, you can just take a picture of something and copy the text, but there's no way to keep somebody from doing that.
Yeah.
Only way is to make people have their cameras on all the time. Oh, they took a phone out. Hey, you did it for like 2 seconds. What were you doing? Were you taking a picture of the screen? Like all that stuff.
Oh.
But the thing is, if it's your own personal device, they don't got no jurisdiction over that. They only got jurisdiction of whatever phone they have a profile on.
Even if it's BYOD?
If it's BYOD, they got a profile on it, so they maybe say, hey, there's some stuff that's related to our company that you're using that phone. We need to see it. So you probably get subpoenaed like that.
Yeah.
That's why I like companies that provide with their own work phone. Because I'm like, hey, no, man, you're not using my personal phone. It's too much stuff where you text the wrong thing or whatever. It's just a lot. So
That's true.
yeah, I would probably say somebody be like a system admin or help desk, something IT just related, just to understand, so you can tie the ends together and understand like at least operations, processes, changes, like you said, how to patches. Like that's a big thing. Like being an architect or being an engineer, do you guys have the certain times when you got to deal with, hey, this change is coming in, we got to update this or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah, you have to upgrade the server. You have to install a new version of Splunk. You have new updates out, so you have to plan that out. So there's going to be downtime for the company. Then you have to ask the managers and directors, hey, are you guys going to be okay with this? We're going to be down for 2 days. When do you want to plan this out?
Yeah. Previous company I've dealt with, we were installing Splunk manually and upgrading it manually. Maybe 4,000 servers. So you had to do it. Thank you. You had to do it week by week, and maybe 2 people at a time. For resource purposes, it was terrible.
No Terraform or Ansible to push that
Nope.
out?
Nope. They didn't have an automated pipeline or anything, so yeah, it was. I had to get out of there just because of that. And Splunk comes out with a new version every other month, so yeah.
Now, I think this is a cool one. I've heard that Splunk is not as popular anymore, and firms are moving away from this. Is this true?
No. So I talked to a lot of people that work at Microsoft and Splunk. I'll start with the Splunk side first. So from the Splunk side, I know I have a lot of friends in the sales team. They told me firms have tried to move away from Splunk. And then 6 months later, the director's like, get this piece of shit out of here for this thing. and they got Splunk brought back. Again, Splunk is expensive. I'm not going to lie about it. It is very expensive, but it is very, very good at what it does if you set it up right. Documentation is pristine, as Marquis can tell you. It's the best documentation I've seen from any single platform in cybersecurity.
Yes.
Very clean, very neat. Support group is very great as well because it is a very mature organization, very mature setup. There is a crap ton of support that if you need help, you can get help from that. Another thing is support directly from Splunk, right? So if you're a large Splunk customer, they'll fly consultants out and engineers to help you out if you have enough credits for it. And they'll do that every single week until your problem gets solved. A lot of other smaller firms don't have that scale yet. So if something breaks, it may take a couple months to get it fixed. And for a lot of organizations, that's not acceptable. So they don't go with it. Now from the Sentinel side, I don't like Microsoft security products. There is no Microsoft security product that is best in breed. And by that I mean, if money was not a factor, they would purchase it. Microsoft gets you because they bundle everything together and they make it cheap initially. Then they'll raise the price 2 years later because you're already locked in. Teams is god awful. No one likes Teams.
I like Teams. I do like Teams.
I hate Teams so much.
I don't think it's better than Slack, but I like it.
It doesn't ever work for any organization I've ever been at.
It works for me. I think people just got to make sure it's ran the right way, I guess.
Wait. prefer Slack over Teams. Maybe WebEx. No, never mind.
I mean,
WebEx is trash.
I like it because it kind of just. I think if it's done the right way, it's like it can work right with Outlook and everything else within the Microsoft ecosystem, but it just has to be implemented the right way.
That's true.
Now, certain places it didn't work because people, I don't know what they were doing, but it's like simple math. But I don't say it's the best, but I'm not gonna say it's the worst. I would use Teams over Discord.
Wait, hold on. Who would use Discord on a professional?
You'd be surprised. Somebody probably is out there trying that.
Yeah. Nah.
But yeah, I've talked to a lot of Microsoft professionals. A lot of them say if they didn't work with Microsoft, they wouldn't use their security products.
I like Purview.
Wait, what is Purview?
Purview is their, I want to say that's their
It was DLP?
Their DLP platform.
I
I like Purview.
Never heard of it.
It's easier to, it was better than what we was using with the semantic joint.
Mm-hmm.
That was trash. But I liked it. That and, what is it? Not Threat Graph, it's Threat Explorer. So like to kind of view people's, I don't want to say it like that. When there's something that's suspicious or malicious comes up and you review the email that came in, I want to make it, because some people will be like, oh yeah, just looking at people's emails. Nah, it's only like something that's worth looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had a cool thing that I dealt with one time where, what's it called? Email hijack, where one company got compromised. So what happened is they got compromised and they pretty much jumped in the conversation and act like they were the person that somebody was initially talking to. The only thing is people don't realize is if that signature is different, then it may not be the right person. And that's something that a lot of people don't pay attention to. It's a reason why they want people to use certain signatures, just because you can recognize who it is. So if they don't have that signature and they take the time to copy it, you may not know. And the email is always going to be a little off, even though the display thing is going to be different. But they were able to trick these people to change the banking information for something, and they were supposed to be paying for an ass like $2 million, and so they sent $2 million to the wrong person.
Wow.
And then where I was working at, the person saw it. It was like, hey, I don't remember talking to this person or whatever. And then that's when we deep dive, and I was telling the manager at the time, I was like, I'm thinking that somebody got hijacked and compromised on the end. But what happened was the other company's IT was like, oh, yeah, y'all good to go. I was like, that's some trash IT if they told you I was good to go. And I think anything was suspicious from this. And so when I used Purview and everything like that, I got to see the whole list of everything and say, oh, that's where the person interjected and took the other person out the conversation, and they started jumping in. So it's simple stuff. Like, it's something you can correct. You don't even need good technology to correct it. You just need better operations and say, hey, well, let me make sure this is verified. Let me call whoever I'm talking to, and they do the actual process. But, you know what I'm saying, that's a governance thing.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because I was telling, I forgot who I was talking to, but I was saying how GRC is the reason why a lot of stuff that, I was telling Chris this, the reason why he has to do certain stuff on these servers or these migrations is governance and compliance is telling them what to do and how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And we are implementing controls that's pretty much making sure that compliance is met. So that's why it could always be easier for any of us to go do GRC work, literally, which I kind of been wanting to do.
What, GRC?
Do some GRC engineering. It's a new term, but a lot of roles are asking for the people to push policy, but also know how to do different things, AWS, and set stuff up.
Yeah, I think I got to get adjusted to us having to wear different hats, in a sense, in the tech field. So that is a good perspective.
Man, you wore a lot of different hats, man. You used to work in the NOC. You used to do those web scans.
Web pen testing. Man, you're not lying.
You had did you ever figure out who was sending you gifts?
Nah, I got how many stuff?
I don't know. He was getting random gifts to his old apartment back in Shreveport. He didn't know who was sending it.
I'm talking about flashlights.
It's probably the person who hacked you when you was using that Fire Stick.
Hey, that was funny. Remember, actually, in my password was like dog 123 or something like that.
That's what happened. Nobody even knew that was your password.
You got to cut that one out.
No, we got to leave it in. It's
Dog
okay.
1, 2, 3. It's all homework.
Yeah, it was dog 123. It was me, Henri, and who else was in there? Tavion. We were all in WhatsApp, and I was trying to figure out who was hacking my Fire Stick. And Tavion was like, "Well, what did you put your password as?" And I told him, and he just started laughing, and I was ashamed. It was very interesting. But yeah, I kept getting a lot of clothes, shoes, flashlights, like some survival stuff, technically, sent to my place. And
Can you prepare for what's about to happen? Send a message towards you.
actually, those flashlights, I still use the flashlights. I couldn't fit the clothes. It was it was a blouse, a couple skirts, some compression socks, and that wasn't for me. So
Yeah, I mean that password. Them type of password I just give people on help desk. When I know I was dealing with a user that was not savvy, your password's gonna be Batman1, capital B is in Batman, ATM in 1, or password 1. But we would set it to where it could change on when they log in. So
yeah, but that was what 2017.
2 years ago.
Yeah,
For sure.
That was about 17.
Now, you were talking about Microsoft products, but I actually like Sentinel. I haven't used it a lot, but I like it.
I hate configuring it from the back end.
See, I've never had to really configure it. I've just had to I regularly just, hey, I want to have Sentinel in Azure, and it sets up Sentinel for me.
From like a back end, it's only okay if you're in a Microsoft ecosystem. If you're not, it's super hard.
Really?
Yeah, the Microsoft doesn't play well on purpose with other product lines like AWS or GCP. So it's really hard to configure it because by design, it's not meant to be set up together.
You know what I'm surprised at? That AWS has not came out with their own like SIM thing. Because Google got Google Chronicle and everything else. Like, why Amazon don't have like their own thing?
Wait, you used Google Chronicle, right?
Yeah, from my last client.
Yeah. Did you like it?
I hated it.
Oh,
But they had the old versions and nothing worked. Everything was out of
Anything
date.
is better than, if you want to laugh, just Google like McAfee Nitro. Anything's better than that. Trust me, anything.
yeah, I never heard of it.
It's only probably a couple maybe government agencies that's using it, but it was horrible, bro. After that, my next SIM I was using at the time was QRadar, and we was using QRadar and Splunk at the same time because QRadar's issue was it kept on dropping logs, and so that's why they was working on moving everything over to Splunk.
Didn't Radar get hacked?
They got bought up by Palo Alto. No, it's just XM. Yeah, they're transitioning all over to XCM now.
Now?
Yeah,
I thought QRadar was owned by IBM.
it wasn't. Then Palo Alto bought out that specifically product line, so they're moving everything over.
did?
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
XCM.
Like, I'm late
Yeah, it's like last year. I
because
think.
people used to call it QRock.
Rock.
Everything drops like a rock.
Yeah, that's funny.
I'm looking it up because I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why.
You're right, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's why. You look online for jobs. They have a lot of consultant positions for XCM because all the curator companies for that product line are going to use XCM now. Paul also promised there wouldn't be any cost change for the next 3 years for it.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah.
You're right, and that's why. So I used to use Prisma. I didn't really care for it that much. I felt like it was over complicated. That's why I prefer Wiz. I like Wiz much more.
So, can you explain what Wiz is? I went to CribbleCon.
This year?
This year.
Oh, nice.
It was pretty nice. I went a couple weeks ago, and they had Wiz there, and for some reason, I'm thinking of the website Wiz.
So let me just give you what AI said. Wiz is a cloud security platform to help organizations identify and mitigate risk in their cloud environments. It provides a comprehensive view of risk by creating a graph of cloud resources, code, and services, and prioritizes them based on their potential impact. The platform is agentless, making it quick to set up, and can be used across major cloud providers like AWS, Azure, and GCP. And it's you can tell the people who worked on Wiz used to do the type of roles that they're helping you do. It's very simple. With Prisma, I mean, it was cool. I mean, you would kind of like P- whatever, and that would be maybe whatever audit rule or something to set up by whatever framework, but it just wasn't as fast and intuitive as Wiz is.
Yeah.
And it makes it much easier, and it pretty much works with everything. You're in there, you'll see like, oh, they know it's Kubernetes because it located, it's always scanning for new stuff, and it's pretty good. I actually leverage Wiz a lot more before I go straight into like using like CloudTrail and all the other like what SQS and guard duty or VPC stuff. All of it is right there, so I can see it versus having to look at different source types when I'm like putting my query together. And of course, you can make a good dashboard that does that, but who makes good dashboards now these days?
Yeah. I still do, but yeah.
No, not you. I'm just saying in general. Like I haven't. Last place I had that had good dashboards was Optiv.
Really? That speaks a lot then.
But most people who make dashboards do it because they know that, hey, this is a big environment, so we might as well make dashboards that make sense for these guys to use so they can speed up the time they need to make a decision. Because if you got to do too much analysis paralysis, by the time you realize something happened, it may be too late.
Yeah, that's true.
So the next question is, and we're going to add all three things in here. What does it take to become a threat hunter, detection engineer, or Splunk architect? And do I need to learn how to code to get a job in that area?
From a Splunk architect perspective, not necessarily, but if you want to automate the pipeline and things like that to build it out, yes. But to become a Splunk architect, you have to understand the key components, as I said before, indexers, heavy forwarders, search heads, things of that nature. The whole 9 yards just to integrate it all together to search for data. So, yes.
You want to be a threat hunter or detection engineer, you don't have to know, but it'll be helpful if you do. I don't mean you have to be a full-fledged software engineer or full-stack engineer. If you understand basic scripting or how to use Python or how to automate using KQL or SPL, you should be fine.
Yeah. Or you can just vibe code.
Well,
You know they got vibe coding companies? I was seeing it on TechCrunch last night. Like, it's crazy.
okay, I live under a rock. What is vibe code?
I just think it's when you use the code with AI.
Yeah, that's complete. You just copy and paste it, basically.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a thing now. Okay.
But the thing is, a lot of the code is not good. But if you know how to code and you're using AI to supplement some stuff, it probably speed up your workflow and you can fix it.
There's
I think
people
I
that are
should
just
try
like
that.
straight copy and paste and they have no idea what's
That's
where.
you know what they remind me of? Script kiddies.
Ooh, okay.
People
okay.
that just would find scripts and then paste them and then see what they can do.
Yeah.
That's what it remind me of.
Okay. Yeah, I never tried that. I think I should give it a try, though, to make my life easier.
Now, here's the fun one because, like you said, the salaries vary. Like, on average, what's the, salaries for threat engineer, detection engineer from Splunk, threat hunter, Splunk architect?
So a Splunk architect can vary up to $300K, if I'm not mistaken. It depends on the company as well. Maybe a Fortune 100 company, yeah. But on average, for I guess a typical company, I would say about 160 to 180. Yeah.
That's all right. If you want to be a threat hunter, so for my last client, I think if they were paying me, it's on a low end, but I can pay I think 65, 70 per hour for that. When I was at EY, at the top of the range for what I did was like 200K base. So it just depends. I know when I was interviewing at Splunk, I think the total comp was between like 220 to 250, and that was without stock options. With stock options, I think they said that would be 310.
Nice.
So
Yeah, you need to look into Atlassian and Dropbox, Anthropic.
they pay like 400K for some positions.
Really?
Yeah, but I don't live in San Francisco, so I'm not gonna go do that.
Google had a remote joint that I interviewed for. I just wasn't the right fit. It's more of an engineering based role. It was I gotta go back in my thing, but it was actually Google Fiber.
Hmm.
And, so it's crazy. I think they was looking more for like a DevOps guy.
Yeah.
Do you think that's the next like step? Like, do you see a lot of engineers turn into like technically like DevOps people versus strictly having to focus on security stuff?
They're trying to make it that way for some of the roles, which they're trying to make hiring managers understand that. But that's like 4 different positions, right? So it makes it very hard to find somebody that actually wants to do that and that can do that. If you want someone that like really specializes in doing just operations or development work, that's a whole different person compared to just security work. So I would say you'll probably in the future have to be like a 3 out of 10 for like development operations, but you're not gonna find someone that's like a 10 out of 10 out of 10 for all of those. Not realistic.
Shout out to Damien.
What about infrastructure monitoring? If they're going into SRE,
What's SRA?
site reliability.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know that much about it. I mean, I've seen the job postings. I think that's what Jesse does.
Jesse.
They work the income with us.
Oh yeah, good Jesse. Yeah.
Because for my company, we have a bunch of SREs, but they don't do too much pure play security work. Analysis of building rules, that's our job.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And they're always busy. And they hate it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Tell me about it. I think if I'm not mistaken, we're dealing with observability and with infrastructure monitoring and architect. They have us. Oh no, never mind. But, yeah.
Nobody knows who you're talking about, so it don't really matter.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, nobody knows.
Okay.
But I wanted to. I'm trying to see did we get all the fun questions out of there for you guys, because we already said operating systems. We already said so. Like, should they Bash, Python, PowerShell? Which one?
Just learn one. Yeah, Bash. But just learn one of them and get good at it, then move on to the rest.
Yeah.
Don't try to learn like all four of them at once. It's not gonna work.
Yeah, it's gonna be stressful. If not Bash, then Python, because they're both integrated with Linux mostly.
Okay. And how do you see somebody leveraging AI to help them be a Splunk architect or a SIM engineer or whatever? Well, not how you see. How can they use it? That's the better term.
Use it as an assistant to help you with basic tasks, right? Don't try to just copy and paste directly everything, which I see happen all the time. I go into the system like, what is this rule? This rule doesn't make any sense. I don't know what they're trying to do. A lot of times, AI is designed to, I guess, please and assist us. So even if it's wrong, it doesn't want to hurt your feelings. So it'll just tell you like, oh no, it's perfectly okay. This is fine. I'm like, it's not though. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. It's like, oh yeah, I'm sorry about it. I'm sorry. Here's the answer. Like, it's still wrong.
I have yet to use AI for Splunk stuff, so that's kind of a relief. But I've been using it for Cribble with Java. I'm not really a Java or a JavaScript person.
I used to be a Java programmer or developer. I hated it.
Yeah, I'm so terrible at it. So I'm trying to understand JavaScript right now.
You mean Java or JavaScript?
Java and JavaScript in
Okay.
Cribble. So yeah, it's pretty, interesting. Not really a fan of it.
Let me see something. I'm gonna try something in real time.
What are you typing?
I'm gonna see. I'll let you know if it works. This will be a game changer for me since I don't have a moderator. Oh, snap. Perfect. So cool. Time for some cool tech topics. And the first one is the AWS DNS outage, which occurred on October 19th, 2025 at 11:48 p.m. PDT, was caused by a latent race condition in Dynamo's DB's DNS management system. This issue led to the accidental deletion of all IP addresses for the Dynamo DB database, rendering it unreachable. The outage lasted approximately 15 hours, with the initial DNS problem being fixed within 3 hours. However, the recovery process itself triggered a cascade of failures affecting various AWS services like EC2, Network Load Balancer, Lambda ECS, EKS, Fargate, Amazon Connect, STS, and the AWS Management Console. This resulted in a more severe crisis as many Amazon systems rely on DynamoDB to store their operational state. The recovery is prolonged due to the EC2 management system becoming overwhelmed and entering a state of congestive collapse while trying to recover thousands of leases simultaneously. This required manual intervention and created additional backlogs in network configuration. The network load balancer service also experienced issues leading to flapping, effects, and random connection errors for customers. Amazon has since disabled the problematic DNS automation globally and is implementing fixes for the race condition. They are also adding velocity controls for load balancers, building new recovery tests for EC2 systems, and improving throttling mechanisms across services to prevent similar outages in the future. The outages affected around 2,000 companies, including Signal, Snapchat, Roblox, Duolingo, banking sites, Ring doorbells, and probably everybody's company that's on this table. So I had the benefit of not actually being at work at the time. I work at mid-shift. So all I did was when I got in, I saw people talking about it on X, and then I saw different chats and stuff, but it seemed like it was rectified by the time I got to work. Y'all, on the other hand, y'all work normal shifts. How was it when you guys were working through this outage?
So I think we were just catching up on it, in a sense. I think our data was slowly starting back to ingest as expected. There was just a lot of latency due to that. So I think we maybe caught maybe 5% of the issue. So it probably lasts maybe like 15 to 20 minutes.
Do you feel like your organization has their disaster recovery and plans done the right way? No, what I'm saying is because a lot of times people on the outside looking in, they want to actually know, like, hey, they want us to know all this stuff in the interview, but when the rubber meet the road, how's it for them internally?
So I'm trying to figure out how to explain this. In layman terms, yes. But I do believe that companies in general rely too much on SaaS products. I'm not saying, we should go back to on-prem or anything, but, let's stay hybrid, at least stay hybrid, and have a proper redundancy put in place just to avoid situations like this.
So in layman's terms, that means do not put everything in the cloud.
Yes.
What about you over there, Kenneth?
Oh, they use Azure, so it didn't affect us. For my client specifically.
Nice.
Oh, I got another one that's about one of Kenneth's favorite products. A new Microsoft Teams update scheduled for December 2025 will introduce a feature that tracks employee work locations. This update will use Office Wi-Fi to automatically detect if an employee is working from the office, providing this information to managers. The feature will be off by default, but tenant administrators can enable it and require employees to opt in. Microsoft states that the primary purpose of this feature is to help employees locate colleagues in large office complexes, making it easier to coordinate in-person interactions. For example, if an employee connects to the Wi-Fi at their company's headquarters, teams will automatically update their status to reflect their building. This automation aims to streamline collaboration and reduce the need for manual location updates. The system can also integrate with peripherals like monitors or docking stations for more refined location accuracy. However, critics and some employees express concerns that this feature could be used by companies to track attendance and monitor whether employees are adhering to return to office mandates, blurring the line between coordination and surveillance. While the feature is opt-in for end users, IT admins can enable it at the tenant level and require employees to participate. The update will be available on Windows and Mac desktops via Teams and will respect users' working hours as defined in their Outlook calendar, preventing unnecessary tracking outside business hours. But the thing is, this stuff is already tracked, like with Okta and Zscaler. Or any service that you guys use at work. Like, we already know where people are. We don't really need Teams for that, to tell us that.
Yeah, I don't think I would be a fan of that, actually. You can just tell them exactly where you are and where you at, and
Now, we do know because of the day in the life stuff, people was getting over. So
yeah, that's true. They ruined it. Yeah,
what you think, Kenneth?
We use Slack, so
What if they say, well, we're moving the Teams?
chunking up my deuces.
I think it's kind of weird, but like you were saying, I already know where people work at. I get alerts and updates if they're outside their normal working locations throughout the country. So I'm already aware of what people do.
So I want to talk about OpenAI has a new AI browser, Atlas. And it's built on the Chromium engine and integrates ChatGPT's assistant platform directly into the browser, offering features such as web page summarization, inline text editing, and agentic functions. Key features of ChatGPT Atlas include ChatGPT sidebar, browser memories. This feature allows ChatGPT to remember facts and insights from visited sites to improve chat responses and offer smarter suggestions. Users have control over these memories, which are stored in OpenAI servers for 30 days. Agent mode, available for premium subscribers. This optional mode allows ChatGPT to perform end-to-end tasks such as researching meal plans, creating ingredient lists, and adding groceries to a shopping cart. ChatGPT is designed to ask for permissions before taking important actions, and users can pause, interrupt, or take over the browser at any time. Now, I could see that being beneficial if you got like a Amazon type of subscription that you needed to do. Hey, finish this for me. Because somebody like me forgets a lot of stuff I have to go back to. Privacy and data controls, import data, password manager, So it's kind of giving a high level summary, but however, most people do not like the Atlas browser because, of course, it is a security risk.
Yeah.
Massive one.
Yes.
Let's see. OpenAI launched the AI-powered web browser this week, which makes me wonder, is it finally time to ditch the Safari? So I don't think it's time to, what's called Safari. I found a video last night where a guy was actually talking about like how it definitely wouldn't be good for like regular users because they're not security first in their mindset. And so they may just put all different type of stuff on there. So imagine all the exploits and stuff that can happen with the AI and people start injecting stuff for you using Atlas and all the fun stuff that people like to do that they try.
So what I'm reading, you actually have to be a member of ChatGPT to actually use it. You have to pay for it, basically.
But I think a lot of people would go pay for it.
That's insane.
Because they think it's making, when they just describe what it does, only thing that seemed like it was beneficial was maybe that little agent thing. But for the most part, it's not doing anything that Google already wasn't doing for you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if people noticed, but Google's changed now. Every time you Google something, it's going to do an AI summarization for you right there.
Yeah, that's true.
And Firefox probably does the same thing. I use Google Chrome a lot, even though it's like so resource intensive. But hey, you got to get that RAM to get that wham.
Wait. Say that again?
RAM to get that wham?
It's not clicking.
Only if you know those Atlanta songs like Wham Whammy and they got that throw that wham in the circle.
No.
Even if it's little. It's funny.
Nah, I never heard of it.
Take me through that. Take me through that. That song right there.
Okay, send it to me.
And I do want to talk about real quick about the AI Doritos bag. Because how did they think this was a gun?
Oh, yeah. That's disturbing.
High school's AI security system confused Doritos bag for a possible firearm. A high school student in Baltimore County, Maryland, was reportedly handcuffed and searched after an AI security system flagged his bag of chips as a possible firearm, which is crazy because that's the thing we've been talking about with AI, how it's not 100% foolproof and how it can cause people issues, especially when it comes to black people, because it doesn't really know how to differentiate between people and I think somebody got arrested or something like that because they said they were the person that committed a crime and it wasn't them.
Is that with some light-skinned guy and he had a doppelganger or something like that that looks exactly like him? He just didn't have a beard.
I can't remember.
Okay.
But, I mean, you got that. You have, people are going to try to lean on AI for healthcare and the AI biases where it could be making black people get stuff that they don't have to get. Like, it's a lot of stuff that is going to require oversight and governance if they're going to try to push for AI in this manner.
Yeah, I agree.
Taki Allen, a student at Kenwood High School, told CNN affiliate, "I was just holding a Doritos bag. It was 2 hands and 1 finger out, and they said it looked like a gun. But as a result, Allen said they made me get on my knees, put my hands behind my back, and cuff me. Oh, yeah, we definitely hit the Denzel on them. If I was going down, I would say, yeah, all right, okay. This how you want to do me? 24-hour lockdown. You'll be playing basketball at Pelican Bay." I would have said that before I went down.
So,
Because we suing them.
what movie was that from?
Trainer Day.
Okay, never saw it.
You never seen Trainer Day?
Nah.
You seen Trainer Day? Put a 1 in the chat if you seen Trainer Day. In a statement shared with parents, Principal Katie Smith said the school security department had reviewed and canceled a gun detection alert, while Smith, who didn't immediately realize the alert had been canceled, reported the situation to the school resources officer, who called the local police. OmniAlert, the company that operates the AI gun detection system, told CNN, "We regret that this incident occurred and wish to convey our concern to the student and the wider community affected by the events that followed. Nonetheless, OmniAlert said the process functioned as intended." So that actually, let me read this again because it's not as cut and dry. It made it seem like AI saw it and they went. But the principal said the security department reviewed and canceled a gun detection alert, while Smith, who didn't realize the alert had been canceled. Who is Smith? Oh, Principal Katie Smith, okay. Because it's worded wrong.
Yeah.
Because she said they reviewed and canceled the gun detection alert, while Smith, who didn't immediately realize the alert had been canceled. Oh, it's her fault. They need a separation of duty. She shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
That's not her expertise. You got other stuff to be worrying about. So I'm definitely still suing the school because The security team did their job and said it's not a gun. You reported it, and these people came and arrested my child because of you didn't know what you were doing on your end.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, they should have a special channel. Hey, we got this alert in. Did you guys get a chance to review it? Like, it should be critical. Like we do in security operations. This should be critical and somebody needs to review it. You don't just say that's what we believe it is unless you saw it with your own eyes. In that picture, you couldn't say that that's what that was.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure kids would have been running around if they, like, it's just a lot that's going on. Like, no. Yeah, they got to get sued.
Yeah. I know it's a traumatic experience as well.
I can't believe you never seen Trainer Day.
Nah, never. I saw Coach Carter.
That's fine. But I'm surprised you still ain't seen Trainer Day.
Yeah, I just saw Coach Carter because it's on Netflix, but yeah.
Trainer Day that's the one Denzel got the Oscar for, I think.
Is that the
Guess
one?
what his name was on there? I'm gonna let you guess one thing. See if you guess it. I'm gonna give you a hint. We always joke about him. Just guess.
We all joke about him. Somebody we know
Me and you joke about him. This person.
with a backpack.
Nah. It's not Cameron, bro. His name's Alonzo.
Oh, I'm gonna talk to him. Oh, his name was Alonzo.
Yeah, on
In Training
TikTok. Yeah, I mean, I said on TikTok on Training Day. I can't believe y'all ain't seen that. Y'all been. I know y'all was probably watching like. Well, at least he's saying Yu Yu Hakusho. Have you seen it?
No.
He even looked at you like, "How you not seen Yu Yu Hakusho?"
Yeah. It was another one. Hunter.
Hunter.
X Hunter.
No, it's Hunter.
Okay.
It's not Hunter X Hunter.
Hunter. Hunter. Yeah.
It's written by the same person.
Never saw it.
Yeah, the same person that did Yu Yu Hakusho did Hunter. And you can tell how they dressed that. That's how it's the same person.
Actually, yeah. You can tell.
Oh, you saw it?
I've seen both.
Oh, yeah.
Now tell TG. I might put it in the chat. I say, hey, man, you know he ain't seen Hunter.
Nah, don't.
Let me see. We got 2 TikToks to react to.
Okay.
Here's the first one.
I just saw a black man post about how he was at a work party and they had an open bar and he had a club soda with like a lime in his glass just to give it off as if he was drinking. But it made me think about the time Enterprise, when I was working there, they used to have these big Christmas parties where they would have like an open bar. We would honestly do like quarterly things as well, like team building things where they would rent somewhere out and they would, basically you could drink, but the Christmas party was the biggest one. Y'all, the Christmas party, people used to get warned, like, okay, y'all go there and have a good time, but don't do too much. Like, please be mindful that you are in front of, like, your boss's boss, whatever it might be. So I had to ask because, you know, I was a newer employee at the time. Like, okay, what's the story? Like, what's the lore behind taking it slow at the Christmas parties? I'm new to corporate America. I don't really know. Y'all, why was it? Because the lady who was my assistant branch manager at the first location I went to peed on herself at the party. And I don't know how that lady was able. Actually, I do know how that lady was able to keep her job. She didn't look like me. But yeah, was able to keep her job after she peed on herself in front of the VP of the damn company at the Christmas party. Mm-hmm.
So what you think about that? Now, I know Kenneth doesn't drink anyway, but if you had to attend the Christmas party, what do you put in your cup?
Probably water, honestly.
I got a better one for you. It's all about perception and illusion. Get some cranberry juice.
Tequila and cranberry.
No, not even tequila and cranberry. Just get some cranberry juice.
Are cranberries one thing that float in the water and people like get them, right?
That's
For those
olive.
farms, right?
That's olives.
No. Like cranberries, right? They're like in those containers, like I guess in farmland, right? And they're set in water, then you basically get them,
No.
harvest them.
No.
The cranberries, right? They're like little red things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, those are cranberry farms then. Okay, that's fine.
I would say cranberry for a non-drinker.
Why cranberry?
It's just like because most people use cranberry as a mixer.
True.
So like vodka crown and cranberry, whatever, cranberry brandy, like it's a mixer. So I just use it. I think club soda I mean, I guess you can see, but I mean, all in all,
She had a good time though. Like, you can't say that.
but that's what I do. But I think honestly, that's something. You know what? Let me see if I can find Jamal's stuff because it was a good one where I can find it on my thing. And y'all, what would you drink at the party?
I did this before, and you literally chewed me out for it. I had tequila and lemonade, and yeah, it was an interesting time. We went to a Christmas party in Chicago, and yeah, I didn't get wasted. Of course, had a couple of drinks, but etiquette-wise, it wasn't the best thing to do. You don't want to say too much or too little and things of that nature. Of course, you have to blend in, but yeah, I wouldn't advise it. He was not a fan that I did it. Henri was, but yeah, I don't do it anymore though.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I would say a couple drinks, like because if you don't have the complexion for the protection, that you could be ostracized, looked at a certain way. Because I've seen the people that got the complexion protection, and I can just tell you they don't never miss a chance to have a good time.
Yeah,
and they be lit. Like I'm talking about, bruh.
Yeah,
they be so lit. Like I remember one time when we went to the thing in Florida, we do this every 2 years they do this internal conference, and I was there, and that's when I met up with E. They thought E worked there. The person was on my team was so lit. I was like, no, E didn't work with us, but he was in the events like he worked with us. It was hilarious.
Nice.
But this reminds me of I just liked it. Come on, bro. That is crazy. I know I just like this thing, and it's not refreshing for me.
Did you bookmark it?
I don't know, but I got some. I'll just react to this one because this was pretty cool. I think this is a good one. So to preface this TikTok, one of my followers, he was talking about he thought he didn't get a job because he pretty much negotiated his worth, and why it's important to negotiate your worth.
Part two, how I renegotiated my way out of an offer letter and it being rescinded to, turns out it's not rescinded. Okay. All right. So this all happened this week. It started out on Monday and now it's Friday and coming full circle. So I told y'all what happened on the first part. If you didn't see it, it's a couple of videos back, go back. So I'm just sitting here, like, after it initially happened, like, I don't know if God was testing me or what, but I was just peaceful with it. I just kept going about my day. It's like, okay, my resume is what it is. Thanks be to God and the opportunities I had. I know I'm always going to land on my feet. So I just went about my day. So Friday come. I get a missed call. So I listen to the message. I'm like, all right, because I told y'all the rec was already closed. Did she call me to tell me that the rec was closed? I already seen it. I see the email. So she called. She said it turned out to be initially a no, but after the feedback that the manager, and also I had 2 rounds of interviews, the manager and then the stakeholders, some of the stakeholders I will be working with. Apparently the feedback was excellent. Remember I told y'all I knocked this interview out of the park, and I knew that. They were willing to meet me at my worth. Of course they are. Like, not only have I been in finance the entirety of my career, I've been a financial analyst, I've been a business manager. I know what they value. And I know that the value that I'm going to add is worth more than my salary. So why make it a big deal? Let's just renegotiate about it. So the HR person came, we talked. She wanted to know if they put it in, would I accept it? Yeah, once y'all put it in price, like, we good. Like, I'm not one of them people. We ain't going to go back and forth. The number I want is the second number I gave you. So once we get there, it's fine. But I just wanted to come back in full transparency and let y'all know that initially it seemed like I negotiated myself out of the offer, but apparently not. So, amen. Thank God. Y'all, part 2, how...
Yeah, I think that's what they say. It's not about what you're worth, but what you negotiate.
Yeah, that's true.
And a lot of people are scared to negotiate their worth.
I think I had a situation like that, remember, with that consulting gig.
Yeah.
And they tried to talk me to maybe like $90 an hour. And I kind of was okay with it. I didn't think it was fair, to be truthful. But I called Henri. I was like, hey, they said $90 an hour. And Henri like, what? Did you accept it? I'm like, yeah. He was like, Nah, you need to renegotiate. So I ended up talking to him, maybe like an hour later or something like that, and I increased it to like 150, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
I think so, because of insurance and stuff like that. And they just said, sure, right off the bat. And that was it.
Yeah, because you was doing corp to corp, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, oh no, why you went so low?
Yeah, I didn't think of court to court at the time was, I didn't think insurance was going to cover it or something like that, you know. I didn't have any knowledge of it at that time period, actually. But, of course, him reminding me of my worth, he was like, yeah, dude, you deserve way more than that. At that point, you might as well just get another W-2. That's the case. And, yep, it helped me with my negotiations a lot more.
Yeah, I think that's everything. I think I'm one of the few people in the current role I have. I negotiated like crazy. I figured out stuff. I asked for things I never thought about asking about, like sign-ons. Oh, well, I got a bonus coming up. How y'all gonna handle that? And they was able to pay me for the bonus I had coming up, plus a sign-on and other stuff that I managed to leverage while negotiating. And that's the thing. The worst thing they can say is no. But if they like you already, negotiate.
Yeah, that's true.
What about you? You over there, little mom, a little quiet.
No, I normally negotiate all my stuff. I think the worst thing is to tell me is no. So I got paid to go to Miami a couple of times this past year, and I got paid for 3 days worth of work, and technically, I think like probably 14 hours worth of actual total work, like $7,500.
Mm-hmm.
Everything paid.
You should have went to the. You should have went on the Tech Jobber podcast, man.
Oh, I'm supposed to. I need to get in Chris's podcast.
Yeah, he actually messaged me this morning because I finally followed him on LinkedIn. I'm gonna get back to him eventually, but I was setting stuff up. But yeah, man, that's cool. But yeah, if y'all watching this, don't be scared to negotiate. If you need some help, I got some templates, or just reach out for a consult. I'll help you negotiate, because that's how. Shout out to, I should see this. Shout out to Rose, my birthday twin. She just had a little girl this morning. She on the West Coast. I forgot how big the little girl was. I think she's pretty big. I think she's like a 7-pounder. I'm not gonna say her name or anything on here, just because she probably didn't want to share that with people unless they're IG friends. But shout out to her. Her and her boyfriend just welcomed a beautiful baby into the world. So
congrats.
More life. And I think one of the last ones was I think this is a woman. She was talking about people getting into cyber. Let's see.
So I saw someone ask a question about like what happened to all of those people who were doing a day in the life of someone who works in tech, or a day in the life of a Google analyst, day in the life of someone who works at Microsoft, and they're just like showing all these perks and how they get free food and just showing a great life. Honestly, good for them, but it was very unrealistic, and I feel like they were kind of feeding off of people's vulnerability during COVID, because a lot of companies were hiring for people who were in tech because a lot of things were going remote, but they kind of sold a dream because that was only temporary. Now that COVID's done with, everybody has to go back to work. A lot of those people got laid off, and a lot of those people who were making those day in the lives don't work at tech companies anymore. And they just made like a quick dollar off of people and trying to tell them like generically how to break into cyber. But you cannot break into tech. Like, you have to work towards getting into tech. And I can tell that like some people don't want to put in that work, because there was a lot of excitement surrounding like these tech events and getting into cyber, but a lot of people aren't ready to put in the work for what it actually means to work in tech and to get into cybersecurity. Like, a lot of people I talk to say, I have Security Plus. What else do I need to do to get into cyber? And in my head, I'm like, well, Security Plus is a good first step. But do you know anything about security tools? Do you know anything about SIMs, EDRs, NDRs, XDRs? Do you know anything about that? IDSs. There's so many different security tools that you can become familiar with. That would be a better stepping stone than just having a cert. And I really want people to understand that you're going to have to put in the work to get into cybersecurity or tech. I've been in cybersecurity for 10 years, and I make over six figures. And that's because I've been putting in that groundwork. Like, you're not going to get handed a position. You actually need to try and talk to people and network and get some hands-on experience. Try to get some internships, learn about security tools. There's a lot of different things that people need to understand that you have to do to actually work in tech and work in cybersecurity. And there was a lot of excitement when I originally posted my event, but I can tell a lot of people aren't really ready to do the work because a lot of you all haven't been that interactive or even asking questions about how you can get into tech. So, like I said, use me as a resource and just reach out to the people that you know are in tech or in cybersecurity, establish those connections, and really ask the questions about what you should do. Like, this needs to be tailored towards people, and it can't just be a generic answer. Like, I'm sorry, as a hiring manager, I'm not going to hire someone who only has Security Plus. You need some background experience to, back up that certification.
That's interesting.
I agree. Because that's kind of what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, especially with the remote thing. I'm not throwing shots at anyone who actually did a day in the life, but literally that's not what we do.
Well, so I'm gonna cut some people some slack. Some people had to make their day in the life like that because they can't show what they do. Other people just over glamorized what they would do and just made it seem like, oh, day in the life, go to go get my coffee, now I'm finna get my feet done and all this other stuff.
Yes.
Like, if anything, it could have been like day in the life I woke up. Like, days used to be, I woke up, finna go work out, and then now working. Like, my day in the life literally was, hey, I actually shot two. The first time I shot, I had the lens cap on, and so I didn't record anything. And so after that, I had to re-record it, but it was just me working through some logs and then a couple of meetings, but I pitched up the voices and I blurred out anything on the screen so nobody could see what I was doing. And so it was like, if you go to the comments of the video, everybody's like, man, thank you for a real day in the life video, because everybody else is going to eat oatmeal and coffee and all this other stuff. And I'm like, well, granted, a lot of people can't do it in the way that I can. And my company was cool with me doing that and just, blaring out the screen and just showing some stuff. But yeah, the over glamorized it. Think about it. In the pandemic, it was easy to get in. People was getting a cert and something else, and they was getting GRC roles and everything else. That same thing not happening anymore because the companies are trying to right size. Like, that's one part about the layoffs that a lot of people don't know. Like, yeah, they are trying to invest in AI, but they also are just getting back to being a little bit more leaner versus just having people on staff getting a check for no reason.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest downfall, to be honest. Or at least people took advantage of that and ran with it. But they're not there anymore. So
yeah. And I will also add, guys, don't spend money on an AI career coach. You can just talk to me. Like, what's the difference between an AI career coach and you already using Gemini or ChatGPT or something? I mean, it probably has some things that it's probably learned and trained on, but it's only going to have advice on the stuff that it has access to versus real advice and being able to interpret what you're actually going through versus how you say it. You may not even know how to ask the AI coach the right questions versus just asking me the questions and I answer them straight up. So
I think it's wild people are using that purely. I was at the event this past week, and a guy told me he was using AI as like a personal counselor because he couldn't find anyone else to talk to in cybersecurity.
No, people are doing it.
Yeah.
Women are dating AI people, wire sexuals. You had Sam Altman or somebody that came out recently and said, hey, ChatGPT will be able to be explicit. Like, you have explicit conversations with it. So it's weird times.
yes,
Like, that's why I said what happened just calling into the chat line. I know y'all young, but people used to call these numbers and have phone S3X with people.
Really?
Yeah.
Say
Do
phone.
you remember the beginning of Hotline Bling, the video?
Yes.
So that's literally what that's reenacting. People will call in to those type of people.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that was a Nah, never mind.
Yeah. If you go back and watch Drake's video Hotline Bling, that's literally what that is. Why you think the girl said, of course I played with feet before and all that type of stuff? Like, just go back and listen to what's happening. That's what make it funny. That's why the song being Hotline Bling is also, like, just funny.
You know, there was another one that owned the hotline.
You
What's
talking
her
about,
name?
I told y'all, he's not a 90s baby. He's talking about Pretty Ricky.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Okay.
Nah, that's a different song.
Yeah, disregard.
That's talking about 5 in the morning, and I'm talking to you. He was talking to, like, his girl.
Okay, yeah.
You don't know nothing about that youngster. I sound like Melvin. Baby boy.
Oh, yeah. I saw it.
Because at the end, when Joe said, man, what you know about that? It's my type of music right there.
Nah, I thought you was talking about, girl, what you doing with all that?
Oh, nah, that's pandemic time.
Oh.
I might play that on the way out if I could find it on YouTube and play that. But as we end out, Kenneth, anything you want to share with them with like going into the next year with ECA and some stuff that you're working on?
Yeah. So moving forward, probably in January, I need to talk to Henry about it as well. We're doing a partnership with TechTual as well. So you start to see a lot more of his episodes, partnered up with some of the things he's doing as well. So be on the lookout for that too. We're also launching a new paid school community too, because I get a lot of questions about, hey, if we can't afford your larger cybersecurity career boost program, how can we still access ECA materials? So we're going to be launching a new paid school community. Beta will be out this December 1st, I believe. I have around 24 people on the beta waitlist. We're going to try to get another probably 10 more people. So initial price for that will be around $79 per month. Then after the first 30, 35 people, it'll go up to $97 per month. So that will have group community sessions, weekly sessions, finance sections, because honestly, a lot of you guys are really bad with money. I'm not going to lie. Please don't buy crypto. Please don't gamble your way your money. I get that a lot. So we're going to talk about how to save, how to invest, how to actually up your money, and go from there.
That's dope. I'm actually starting to move a lot of my stuff to be a little bit on demand on a platform called Forento. It's new, but it's cheaper than school. A lot of deals I get, I go to AppSumo. So like all the testimonials and stuff I've been posting lately come from this app called Feed Space, which lifetime access I think for like $50. Versus I was using Vocal Video that went like $200 a year. I'm like, bro, no, I'm not paying you $200 a year for this. Because I could really make my own testimonials and just make them private on YouTube if I want to. But I like this is much easier, and people have been adding stuff, and I can go and import stuff and add pictures and stuff. What about you, Mr. Marquis?
Labs are critical. A lot of people don't understand, or they ask the question of how to get into tech, but they don't put towards the effort of building out labs, home labs at that. There's plenty on, what's that thing called?
What?
Medium. Yeah.
You got yours published on Medium?
I think I do. If it's not, it's in GitHub, but I'll promote it somehow. Or actually, I need to start posting on LinkedIn. Yes, I need to start doing that. But yeah, start building out labs because those are critical to any infrastructure. If you know what you're talking about in your lab, then you know what you're talking about in the interview. Of course, you don't have any real world scenarios, but you can create one. You can use AI. Just ask for a real world scenario and just build it out. That's simple.
Yeah. And what I've been doing now is helping people, and I got this idea from Josh Madacor, but pretty much saying, hey, like, they intern or whatever at my company and give them stuff to do. We talk about what they're going to say and what they actually did. And then that kind of helps sometimes with that experience gap that they don't have.
Yeah, which is what I do with EJ. Justin, Jocelyn, Moose, they've all gotten like Fortune 500 jobs after. Justin works at Lighthouse now as a security threat analyst. Jocelyn works at Fidelity as a data engineer. And Moose works as like a software engineer at Wells Fargo.
Nice.
I think Hazel works at SentinelOne now as a sales engineer.
Nice. And then we're going to leave y'all with this. Marquis was thinking about this. I'm going to play it.
Come on.
Girl, what you doing with all that? Oh, nah.
Nah, man.
Girl, what you doing with all that? Nah.
we're watching.
That sound like I was finna have scenes right there for real. Yeah. Okay, let me see. Girl, what you doing with all that? None. That still kind of like I was. That sound like I was still trying. That still sound like I was trying to do something for real.
So
But look, we until next time, let's stay textual, and we out. Peace.